Hello, BB. Today we'll be discussing creative integrity and external authorities. So, celebrities are stars in the sense that they have like an inner light that they share with the world and that they're very gravitational. And like the sun, another star, they are a source. And for that reason, they are often a threat to the system. So, it is Capricorn season, and I've been reflecting on multiple motifs. One is their ruling planet, Saturn, who and how it challenges and restricts us, and also another motif is karma and how that makes the world go round. But I've also been reflecting on its like sister planet, not sister planet, its sister sign, Aquarius, and also its opposing signs, which is Cancer and Leo. And how they both oppose, how pretty much the ruling planets or the signs that are ruled by Saturn oppose both the luminary signs. And though technically I see like Leo as like the real luminary and I see Capricorn as like the real Saturn, and they're not direct oppositions, I do like to see them, like I do like to like put them against each other. But yes, specifically because they both have rings, like Saturn is known for their rings, but I also would say in our solar system, the different planets in the solar system would be like the sun's rings. And for that reason, I'm like, there seems to be like some competitive nature about like the planets. And also, like the tarot card that's corresponded with Saturn is the world. And I don't think it's like the world, like how we think of like the earth, the world, or even like our solar system, the world. I think it means like the universe, the world, and how technically in that case, Saturn is corresponded with a bigger concept than our measly little star. But yeah, I feel like there's like a competitive nature about like specifically the sun and Saturn. Like those two planetary bodies seem to be opposing a lot. But also, I would say your luminary like placements or like your luminary houses, like the fourth and fifth house, is really just like is like you in a state of just being. Like there is no like no context. It's just you being a person. You know, like what did that one person say? I think it was Justin Bieber. He was like, "You're a human being, not a human doing." Like you are just a being. You are always in a state of being. And then I would say like the opposing houses, which is like 10th and 11th, I think, are you in the context of people or like structures like work and friendship. Anyways, I don't particularly like Saturn. Well, I do. I've come to appreciate it, but like before I came to really understand like it is like its necessity in my chart, I didn't really like Saturn because I'm like a free agent and I don't like being told what to do. And also, I am like a luminary stellium. Like I'm a Cancer stellium and then I have a Leo moon. So like I'm always in opposition with those two signs and therefore that planet to some extent, like it clashes with my being. And then I would even say, specifically Capricorn, I would say, I mean, like Cancer, Thalia, right? Specifically Capricorn. But like if I'm to play with the concept of like Saturn, I probably lean towards like the Aquarianness because of my numbers. My numbers are very Aquarian. But yeah, I understand why we need Saturn. It's not just restrictions, it is also boundaries and laws, and it provides us protection and guidance. And I would even say a motif that I brought up is like its connection to parental figures, like your parents, your ancestors, your teachers, authorities, like guidance, like external authorities. So that's my point. Like creative integrity going against external authorities. And I would even say, like, yeah, like Saturn isn't meant to just be restrictions, or like it's not supposed to be set restrictions. You're supposed to test and trial and tribulation your that's the point of trials and tribulations, to test your boundaries, to test the structures that you put in your life and see if they are supposed to stay in your life. Um it's like a corset. I've been like you, I don't know how many times I've said it. I don't know if I've actually uploaded any videos where I've said I see Saturn as like a corset or a bra, and it's meant to be adjustable. Like, and in fact, like if you keep things too restrictive, you can do damage. So like it's like you have a corset and you're supposed to set it to your size. If you get smaller, then you need to like tighten it up. If you get bigger, you need to loosen it up. And it's supposed to be interchangeable. And that's why I'm saying like if I am thinking about Saturn, I'm probably gonna lean towards Aquarian because that is like air, that is fluid. I like more fluidity in my boundaries, being able to fluctuate with like the time to time going. And also I would even say like the concept of checks and balances and how our laws have been amended, like what I said authority, like the how do you want to say? Laws are a type of restriction, but the laws are there to keep us protected. Some of our laws, however, have been used to harm people. And if we're not capable of doing checks and balances to challenge and change our laws, that's a problem. So you do need like our laws to be changeable. We need our boundaries to be fluctuatable. The problem is that Capricorn is an earth sign, so it lacks fluidity. And now I sort of want to like talk about the houses that I brought up. I said Capricorn, well, I said the houses of work and friendship, but like Capricorn specifically is connected to work. And for that reason, like work and career. And for that reason, when I think of Capricorn, I think of Capricorn, capitalism, and its connection to patriarchy. There is an image of, well, there's a Greek story of Saturn eating his kids. He cannibalized his kids. And one of my favorite versions of it is like, because a lot of times people are like, he swallowed his kids whole. There was an artist who's like, well, actually, what if we like depict it as him like actually like eating and there's blood and there's gore, right? Capitalism is very cannibalistic. We use up people, we work people to death, we take advantage and we optimize labor. And then I had like another version of this that I wanted to like write, or like I didn't want to type it on my laptop. I'm just going to keep it on my notebook, where I was just like, child labor laws, Saturn eating his kids, how capitalism cannibalizes US workers or cannibalizes us slash workers. It bleeds us dry, uses up all our time, energy, and bodies at the lowest cost. Why is there a minimum wage? It's greedy. Not paying your worth and survive, and only paying survivable, like bare minimum survivable wages, though workers give their whole lives for survival. It's corporate bargaining with your worth, getting the most bang for their buck, and then burnout. And then how this also does connect to zombieism. Like it's cannibalistic, it's like zombieism. But yeah, and again, like I want to say, like Saturn has a place in your chart. There's a reason why like these motifs are like, you're supposed to have restrictions, you're supposed to have boundaries, but they are supposed to be like fluctuatable. And that's where the main problem becomes. Like, this is my main problem with like some people with their like boundaries or restrictions or like their authority. It is like you relinquish all your control to the person and you make yourself a slave, like a corporate slave. And this does remind me of like the potential concept of like life contracts and how you sign to be in this life. I feel comfortable with the concept of I chose to be here because I've had a good life. But when I think of like things that people have gone through, like people get assaulted in this life. Who would agree to do that, right? People have survived genocides in this life. Who would agree to do that? So like when I think of life contracts, I'm like, I can see how like it might be like when people are just like, I didn't choose to be alive. You don't know that. We actually genuinely do not know anything on the other side. We only know what's here right now. So like, I'm not like 100% sure that we sign life contracts, but I am comfortable with that idea because when I think of like everything that I would have had to agree with, like my race and my gender and my parentage and my ethnicity and the country that I'm born in and my financial statement, I'm actually very comfortable with that. These seems like boundaries and restrictions that I'm very good with, right? This seems like terms of my contract and terms of the terms and conditions that I'm good with. But then I do think of like how some people, they don't read their contract when they sign, and or they cannot get a better contract, or they were coerced into a contract and they were not given full agency to consent. And then when I talked about child labor laws, children cannot consent. And the concept of like, hey, like when you don't know how tough like the life is going to be when you sign it, you're like, oh no, I can survive that. I can just go with whatever you throw at me because I'm signing the life contract. What I really want is to live a life. I don't know. But yeah, it just makes me think of like contracting and like how some people get coerced into signing contracts, or like there'll be like fine print, or the one of the things that people do in corporate is like they'll give you a contract and there are a lot of words and they'll say sign it. If you don't sign it now, then the offer will not stand. But you didn't get to actually read all the details in the contract, you're just signing it. That is like a little bit of coercion, and I do see coercion as a form of SA. Yeah. And this also does connect to something that I have been talking about, which is the connection between pimps and toxic parenting. But then actually specifically how pimps are human traffickers, which is a form of slavery. So a pimp and a slave master are like the same concept, but then also specifically a pimp and a parent, a toxic parent, being connected because they provide for you, they take care of you, but they also take advantage of you. So it's like, oh, a toxic parent, a slave master. Like when I brought it up and I don't think I've ever really explained it well, but like sometimes I'm like the toxic side of Capricorn is when like the toxic side of Capricorn gives capitalism. And I don't think a lot of people really get it because technically Capricorn is like a yin placement, so it's feminine. And I do see capitalism as closer to a yang because it's like patriarchal, father, right? But also, what is gender? Like honestly, everything could be on both sides. Though I do wonder what is like the masculine version of Cancer, because when I think of Cancer, I think of the mother. But yeah, like specifically Capricorn, when I think of Capricorn and like the toxicness of actually even Saturn, even though there are some thoughts that Saturn was originally like a feminine deity or feminine, how do I want to say, a feminine planet. But now it's like Saturn, Kronos, one of the old pantheon god, not goddess, god. But anyways, yeah, like this is what I mean by like Capricorn has a connection to Saturn, which has a connection to like parenting. And then Capricorn has a connection to work and career, which connects to capitalism, which connects to like slavery. Like one of the first forms of like capitalism, like one of the reasons why capitalism got as big as it was because they took advantage of African enslaved people. Right. So it is like, and that's the thing, nothing really gets abolished. It just like transforms. Like when we went from enslaved people to not indentured servant, like sharecropping, and then the prison industrial complex, the prison pipeline. Those are like the same thing. We're like, ooh, actually, my friend brought up Erica Badu on and on, but I would even say penitentiary philosophy. That one. That was the one I said, yeah, wait a minute. We're on like, and then also how like some people were like, we're in the bad place when we think of like how this is hell and like hell is connected to the devil and Capricorn, its tarot card correspondent is the devil. Anyways, I see all of these and I'm like, it's all connected. But back to the pimp and the slave master and the toxic parenting. Let's go back actually specifically to the title of this, which is what does it mean to sell your soul? To sell your soul is to sell out. It is to sell yourself, is to put out, is to prostitute yourself. Back to the pimp, right? And I have a video on my TikTok where I was talking about your inner light, sharing your body. And then there was another one, and I was like, how these all feel connected. So again, these are motifs that I'm always reflecting on, and I don't know where they're leading to, but I'll make sure to link it down below. And how I personally do see like celebrities doing sex work. Like to some extent, like why do they have to be beautiful? Why do their bodies have to look good? They are selling the concept of sex. Like they become sex symbols. And this becomes problematic when you know that they are signing children to be celebrities. And I know that they're like selling the boyfriend or girlfriend concept, but the boyfriend girlfriend concept is like a PG version of like selling sex. I don't like maybe that's a bit uncomfortable to hear, but like specifically in K-pop in this case, they have a problem with them dating because it sort of crashes the illusion of them being your boyfriend or your girlfriend because they're sort of kind of selling sex. And that's why they're so, what do you want to call it? Restrictive about their dating life, even though the public doesn't need to know about their private life. Again, selling yourself, selling your light to some extent. You are a luminary, you are a celebrity, you are the light, you are source, and you're like giving that up so that you can work under the system. And then when your gravitational pull pulls you away from the system, then it becomes a problem and there's retaliation, right? The concept of doing stuff just because you're being told and not to question authority, that and lack of communication, when you don't communicate, I need you to do blah, 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 this, and I want you to trust me, and there's no communication. That's like entrapment. That's one way to lead someone into entrapment. Like they don't have any say. They don't have enough communication to really check if this is a boundary, this is a restriction, this is an authority that they want to put themselves under because you didn't actually give them all the information. And yeah, that's like, it's line from omission. And also the concept of a 360 deal. Now, I've been saying something about how like karmic symbols are very circular and how like karma makes the world go around. So when I think of like 360 deals, right, it's like, oh, another circle. But actually, I want to think of like the concept of a stellium and how technically signs, planets, and houses are not interchangeable. I use signs signs, planets, and houses interchangeably because my mind is very fluid. Like everything is connected, but I generally do know that signs, planets, and houses are not interchangeable. So, in a lot of ways, Saturn, in this case, karma is everything. Yes, Saturn is not everything. Saturn is one placement in your chart. And in fact, um, everything cannot be about Saturn. Like you will not be a well-rounded person. Like think of your chart, you will not be a well-rounded person if you only focus on your Saturn placement. And I do think like stelliums, yes, you get like multiple placements in one sign. I'm a Cancer stellium because you're supposed to learn a lesson. But I've been very adamant of like learning all the different like lessons and motifs about the other signs, even if they're not in my chart, because I want to be a well-rounded person. But yeah, karma is everything. Saturn is not everything. You cannot use that stuff interchangeably. And I know that. But like, yeah, the concept of a 360 deal and you literally relinquish all your control to a corporation and there is no communication or like there is no way to check and balance and maneuver and critique and what do you want? Refine your contracts if you want to. Like, if you're like, oh, this boundary wasn't working, let me let it go. But yeah, technically, Saturn is not innately evil. Having contracts, having corporations control you and manage you is not innately evil. But in a capitalistic world, it has been warped. And like, my only advice is to read your contracts, vet your authorities, and challenge change. What the? Oh my God. And challenge change. And if those boundaries are not serving you, you should be able to drop them. So this script was specifically wow, I lost how to speak. This script was specifically inspired from the New Jeans Adore Danielle situation and how she, like, people called her the sunshine. I was just like, once again, because as soon as I hear, oh, you're the sunshine of the group, I'm like, they're going to target you. It happened with you. It happened with you, Danielle. And I'm trying to think of any other examples, but like, I'm going to like, it will be a constant pattern. They will always go after the one who's like the quote unquote luminary, the quote unquote sunshine, the quote unquote one that has like the most gravitational group, like damn near the core of the group. They will attack that, right? And that, yeah, that's my main inspiration, but actually this is like an offshoot of my old Rise script that I have on my currently dead laptop. Like it's broken. And yeah, I would love to share it, but I am currently working on getting this channel monetized so that I can fix my laptop and then share my old scripts. But yeah, this is a new laptop that my mother gave me. And if you want to help me to share more, because I have a lot of scripts and I also feel like I'm going to have to start editing soon. But right now, like I talked about Saturn, my Saturn is Gemini. So like I am supposed to be a bit more restrictive and more concise and like practical and form, like right. Cause sort like my form needs to be snatched when I like make media, types of media like writing or videos, right? But right now I'm like in a no bra, like we just out and about like free, because that's a boundary that I'm testing right now. Like how much can I like post without editing and how successful can I be without editing. But yeah, like genuinely like and that's the thing, like you can look at your chart, but like everything that I said, you don't actually have to like look at a chart. I just use astrology to really like have like symbols, like because I'm a visual learner, so like I use it as like symbols to really understand what I'm saying. Like when you think of like, hey, your parents have a say on your school, is that really something that you want, or do you want that to be just for you? Oh, your parents have a say on who you date, is that really a boundary that you want, or do you want that to be just for you? So it's like, yeah, test your boundaries, in the sense of like not test your boundaries like you push someone's boundaries, but like genuinely see if these boundaries are like something that you want, and if they're not working, release them. And I know that it's like really bad for Danielle because she's like gonna be in debt. Like they have retaliated against her, she's gonna be in debt. But like the truth is like that's not a company that you wanted to be under. They were not serving you, they had to let you go, or like you had to let them go, but they weren't letting you go, but now they've let you go. And as long as you don't ever give up, like like I said, karma is everything. Like the story will continue. As long as you don't give up, there will be a happy ending. As long as you like, you just like set it into your mind, like, I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm going to have a happy ending. I'm going to work at this and I'm going to find the ending that I want. You'll be fine. And it really does suck, but that's what I've been thinking about, and how like the story's not over. It's never over until you give up. So I'm rooting for Danielle. I'm rooting for New Jeans. I'm rooting for any any celebrity that signed a contract and they can't get out of it, because like it really does suck. And like even for me, like I want to be famous. I want to work on projects, but like I'm very hesitant with the concept of signing contracts, but I also do know that signing those contracts will help me grow, like in form, in the like the structure that I want, in the magnitude that I want, but I cannot relinquish all my control. So, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great day, and you should totally like, subscribe, and comment and share.